This is An Agent for Hope, part of the Pinkerton Matchmaker series, book number 56. Written by Marie Higgins. Narrated by Julia Hamra. Published by Bar 26 Publishing LLC. All rights reserved. Chapter 1. Today was the day. She felt it in her bones. For several years, Hope Larson's mother told her that what she felt in her bones was arthritis. Yet, it only took Hope 2 years to realize it wasn't. Being an active woman at age 28, she shouldn't have arthritis. But she did have a gift, which was why she felt things so strongly. Today was no different. Hope awoke this morning feeling that today was when she'd finally catch the train robber, Frank Henchy. Her so-called gift left a bubble of excitement in her bosom. Leaving her mare tied to a tree, she headed for the small grove, darting from one spot to another as she tried to hide herself from the log cabin down the slope. The sun would be setting soon, and she knew this was when she'd get to spy on her target. Hope had been a Pinkerton agent for 6 months now, and she was confident that she'd learned all she needed. The first 5 months were extremely straining, and she argued with her partner more than they talked civilly. Once she was trained, she hightailed it out of there, telling her partner they could go their separate ways. Working by herself didn't scare her at all. She'd been on her own since her mother died a few years ago. She was well past the marriageable age, and besides, she was used to doing things her own way. Hope found a spot to sit inside the cluster of trees and pulled out her binoculars. She held them up to her eyes and watched the cabin below. Smoke billowed from the chimney, and on a few occasions, she noticed an oversized woman with long, ratty gray hair walk by a window. The curtains were thin enough to see what was going on inside. For 2 weeks now, she'd been following leads and spying on those who were on her suspects list. One of the leads was a young boy who was probably 15 or so, who lived with his mother in the cabin. Hope had heard that Robert's mother had been married to Frank Henchy, and if that were the case, the boy was probably Frank's son, even though Frank rarely came to the cabin. She wouldn't believe that a father would ignore his own son. Hope was certain Frank checked on Robert's welfare. The door to the cabin opened. Hope leaned forward and tightened her fingers around the binoculars as she held her breath. Mrs. Henchy stepped out, carrying a steamy pot. Carefully, using a towel between her hands and the pot, the round woman waddled toward a flat rock near a campfire, and when reaching the destination, she set the pot down. Still using the towel, she lifted the lid and peeked.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?